Hi there, boys and girls. I get to read you a book today. It's called Hair Love by Matthew A. Cherry. Now, I really like this book, and I'll tell you why. Because it deals with a topic that actually I've had quite a bit of experience with growing up, basically because if you notice, the title is Hair Love, right? So you know it has something to do with hair. And I've had quite a bit of issues with hair growing up just because sometimes people in my family knew what to do with it and sometimes they didn't. So that's why I have a real connection with this book, Hair Love by Matthew Cherry. But before we actually read it, I want to point out some vocabulary to you that's actually in the book that you will see. So I want you to be familiar with it already if you're not already, okay? So I'm going to share it with you by sharing my screen with you first. And I'm going to show you 3 words that I want you to know, okay? So the first one is presto. Presto means having just completed something. So if you just completed something, you might say presto. Instead of that, you might say ta-da. So that would be kind of a synonym for presto. The next word is gathered. Gathered means putting things together. If you gathered something, that means you picked things up or put things together. The third one is oiled. Oiled seems to mean soak or coat with oil. Okay, so those are our 3 words that I want you to be familiar with so that when we get to them in the text, you will know exactly what they mean. Now that you've previewed some vocabulary, I am going to read Hair Love by Matthew A. Cherry. Show you this illustration because it is so nice. Shows her looking in her mirror. Girls do that a lot with their hair, and that's okay. My name is Zuri, and I have hair that has a mind of its own. It kinks, coils, and curls every which way. And there's Zuri sleeping in her bed. Daddy tells me it's beautiful. That makes me proud. I love that my hair lets me be me. In funky braids with beads, I am a princess. And when my hair is in 2 puffs, I am above the clouds like a superhero. That scarf is kind of like cape, isn't it? My hair even does magic tricks. One day, Rocky and I were playing outside when along came the rain. From large to small it went. Presto! Just like that. There's nothing my hair can't do. Today, I woke up extra early all by myself. I was too excited to sleep. It's a big day. Daddy was still sleeping. Shh, I said to Rocky as we tiptoed past him. Lately, Daddy has been worn out. He makes me breakfast, takes me to school, goes to work, picks me up, and yesterday we went for a bike ride around the park. I think he needs a break. Because today is special. I want a perfect hairstyle. This calls for a professional's touch. Pause off, Rocky. Daddy heard the crash. Zuri, what on earth? He asked. Looks like something happened. And he's gonna come find out what. I was only trying to help, I said. Daddy smiled. Well, can I help too? It'll be a piece of cake, Zuzu. The first style was a big no way. Not like that. The second one was no better. No, Daddy. And then Daddy tried slicking my hair back into 2 puffs. Ouch, Daddy yelled. Fun times for Daddy. Wait a minute, Daddy said as he reached into the drawer and pulled out a pick. Ta-da! Daddy, really? I said. Well, I'll be right back, he promised. I love the expression on her face right there. That is hilarious. Now, how's that? He asked, pulling the hat down over my eyes. Daddy, come on. We can do better than that. I really need my hair to be special. Don't worry, he said. We'll figure this out. Then I had a great idea. What do you think she's going to do? You'll never figure it out. Daddy gathered all the tools we needed, and we were set. What's he going to do? Watching carefully, Daddy combed, parted, oiled, and twisted. He nailed it. Funky puff buns, pretty, and so much fun. Rocky approved too. I put on my superhero cape as the final touch to a perfect look. Where's my Zuzu? Mommy called from the door. She could not get in the house fast enough. Mommy! You've got to be the prettiest Supergirl I have ever seen, she said. And your hair is beautiful, Zuri. Who did it? I looked at Daddy and beamed. Mommy smiled. Very nice. Thank you. We learned from the best, Daddy said as he gave her a big hug. My hair is Mommy, Daddy, and me. It's hair love. Now you see why I like it so much. That is a very good story. Now, I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. So now you're going to become a comprehension detective. That means you're going to investigate this story to figure out, what was it mainly talking about? And we call that the main idea, right? So put your thinking cap on and you become a comprehension detective. So I'm going to show you a main idea stem that we're going to be using. So I'm going to pull up the whiteboard again, and I'm going to show you what the main idea stem is. So I'm going to erase that, and now I'm going to type our main idea stem. I'm going to label it main idea stem, because we're going to be using this all year long. So this is how we're going to write our main idea, in this exact way. You're going to identify the problem by just saying the problem is, then we're going to say, and the solution is. Period. So that's a way that we are going to organize our main idea in this stem by saying problem and solution. Okay, what the problem is and then what the solution is. Now, so if you think about hair love, think about what was Zuri's problem. Remember, you're being a comprehension detective. You've got your thinking cap on. What problem was she having? Okay, you probably have it by now. The problem is Zuri wanted a special hairstyle. So I would probably add she wanted a special hairstyle, and her mom was not home. Okay. So I'm going to now remove that so we can say what the solution is. So what would you say the solution was to her problem? You saw it at the end, right? The solution is her dad worked hard to do her hair. Okay. So we see what the problem was, and now we see the solution. So that's our main idea stem. Pretty simple, right? So we're using this stem so that it gives us a format to follow for writing the main idea. So you don't have to just try to figure out what to come up with when you're asked what's the main idea. If you just use this stem, the problem is and the solution is, then you'll have your main idea. Okay, so very good. Now, to do a couple of more things with this book, but today we're going to stop there for now. So you're going to now think about, how can we take this further with this particular book? But I will explain that when we come to the next part that we're going to add to, which is called the summary. Okay? All right, so don't worry about that now, but just letting you know, that's what we're going to cover in the next video. All right, So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching Broncos. And I hope you enjoyed this story. And I will see you next time.